Well, this just happened. Hello everybody, it's Gabriel. Welcome back to channel. Today is going to be a video on my Beyblade deck that I used in the most recent Beyblade tournament that I just did yesterday. So let's go over each combo. Now first I want to talk over the bays that didn't really make the cut because they were either too hazardous for me to use or were just not good. The first bay that I'm going to be putting in this spot is going to be Dran Buster, unfortunately for me, because I really wanted to use Dran Buster in the tournament because Dran Buster is one of my favorite Beyblade X bays. In fact, it's one of my favorite bays of all time. But in practice, this bay didn't really do that good. It's because while Dran Buster was able to nail some solid hits through practice matches, after a while, after it hit some bays really good, it started to lose gas and it fell down rather quickly. But this is by far the worst bay that I would have used, as this would have not put me into the second place spot, which you saw in the second place medal in the intro. The second bay that wasn't used in the tournament is Golem Rock. Golem Rock on 660 wedge, to be specific. I was going to use 560 wedge, but my 560 wasn't really that good, and it just didn't, line up well. But Golem Rock seemed a lot more promising than Dran Buster. Only thing is, the balancing issue with Golem Rock is that Golem Rock's balance is really bad. It's by far the worst when I first tried using it in practice matches. I tried practice matching with Golem Rock against a very competitive combo, and let's just say this thing toppled over rather quickly. It scraped and then it just hit the floor. It didn't really do that well. This isn't really optimal for me to use for any tournament. So this might be the first and last time I will consider Golem Rock for a deck. Finally, we have the third and final most considered before I picked out my third option for my deck. Clock Mirage. Surprisingly, Clock Mirage on 385 and Underneedle. This had the biggest consideration because Clock Mirage is a really good bay, and my 385. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but this thing's very hard to tilt, to twist. It's a really good. This is the only good simple ratchet that I have that could have net me some wins because of how round 385 is. This is the biggest consideration because Underneedle put it at 965 height again, and 385 is just naturally round. I would have used this if I wanted to use an homage bay, but this is big. But the risk of getting ratchet sniped was too high and was something that I didn't want to risk. So, what bays did I pick to get second place in this tournament? Well, let's look at these bays now. First bay is the bay that ultimately got picked, which is none other than Wand Wizard on 160 Hexa. The reason for me picking this was because not only is it a powerful bay, but it has some significance to me because, well, my girlfriend got me this bay. And honestly, it's just a good combo overall. It got me through multiple of my matches, and it got me to the finals where it actually did well. It actually did do well, but after a couple beatings from a Aero Pegasus, which, yes, I had to battle an Aero Pegasus using this combo, and yeah, Aero Pegasus definitely knocked off some of my little confidence for this. But the only bay that this bay really lost to was a Meteor Dragoon on 580 level. But that's because Meteor Dragoon's really good at an 80 height. But this Bay got me through most of my matches because of how good it was at defense and how good it was to counterattack and how good it was for stamina. Basically all you could want for Beyblade. Now let's move on to the other two Bays, which were already going to be considered for my combos, which were Silver Wolf 960 Free Ball. Silver Wolf obviously is a obvious no-brainer pick because Silver Wolf is one of the best, if not the best, right before Emperor Might and the Blast combos came along. This was one of the best, and is still one of the best stamina type blades to use for stamina. And it's one of the best to use for Beyblade X because of the free spin ring under it. The free spin ring really saved me multiple times because, well, the thing is with Bays, when Silver Wolf tilted, it hit the free spin ring and caused Silver Wolf to disperse some of the energy and basically outspin. I picked 960 obviously since 960 is the go-to stamina ratchet because of how low it is and of how good of burst resistance it is. Free Ball is obviously another obvious pick because, well, Free Ball is Free Ball. Free Ball is a really good bit and just it allowed Wolf to spin for a lot longer, which definitely gave me more of an edge. Silver Wolf also did good in the finals round, winning a lot of times to a Wyvern, I think a Wyvern, a Shark Scale, and the Aero Pegasus, which is definitely for me one of my highlights for the final battle. And finally, the Bay that rounded out my deck, Phoenix Wing 360 Kick. This Bay was one of my only attack builds, as I didn't want to go for a full stamina deck, as that would be boring. That would be boring and pretty predictable. So I decided to go with this Bay as a basic. This was one of the other Bays that was already set in stone for me to use, as I wanted to use an attack style Phoenix, but also wanted to have a bit of stability with that. So Kick was the bit that I decided to use for Phoenix Wing. 360 obviously is to line up with 3 contact points that are on Phoenix Wing. And Phoenix Wing obviously is basically one of the heaviest Beyblades ever. It was one of the first heaviest Bays, and honestly, even though I have Mold 1, it's still pretty good. And yeah, that's really all I have to say for my deck. And my reward for winning the Bay tournament was this really cool looking medal. And it looks really good too. It looks like an actual medal. It has DMV Beyblade. If you guys don't know what the DMV is, I'm not going to tell you because, you know, it reveals personal information to me, but I really don't want to say much about it. Then we have the Curio January Clash number 1 2026 Beyblade X second place winner. This is a really good looking medal, honestly. I am really happy that I won this medal. And yeah, speaking of clashes, the Bay Clash is going to come soon after I finish every other episode that I have planned for the Beyblade X Type Custom storyline. So be on the lookout for when I actually do make Beyblade X Type Custom. Beyblade X Bay Clash 7 video. So yeah, anyway guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tune in next time. Goodbye folks.